In this video, we'll be discussing CM1 Paper B, July 2022 solutions. Uh, all the solutions will be true to the best and truest of my knowledge, although it might be possible that the solutions are not correct or the way of method of solving from the institute is different. But yes, this is to the bestest of what I know. So let's do this. Wayne Enterprises had bought a shop for rupees 1.5 crore. A further sum of rupees 20 lakhs would be spent after 3 months on furnishing the shop and making it suitable for leasing to an apparel retailer. The apparel retailer has agreed to take the shop on lease after the end of 6 months, wherein rent of rupees 50,000 will be paid monthly in advance. A refundable security deposit of rupees 15 lakhs shall be paid to the landlord, and rents shall increase at 10% per annum. Tenant shall be responsible for all the expenses. Landlord shall keep the property against insured. So insurance premium is expected to be 17,500, increasing at the rate of 8%. Tenant also agrees to buy the property at the end of 55th lease anniversary. That is after 5.5 years from today. Wayne Enterprises is liable to pay tax at 15% on capital gains and 20% on rent. So it's 15% on capital gain and 20% tax on rent collected during a month is paid in the following month, and capital gains tax is payable at the time of transfer of the property. Ignore cost inflation for capital gains and depreciation when calculating tax payable. Capital gain is defined as a section. So this is there, and we have been given IRR of 12% to calculate the price of which the property. So let's come to this. Question 1. So tax on rent is 22% and CGT is 15%, which is given to us. And then we have been told that 1.5 CRA is put in today to buy the shop and 20 lakhs after 3 months. So this is the 3 months. Then security deposit has been given today to, that is an income, so 15 lakhs. And then the cash flow, then the rent is 50,000 into 1 plus inflation rate into the monthly. It is the inflation rate into the tax rate, whether that is 1 plus 1.67, calculating the monthly tax rate. Insurance is also payable this, so minus 17 into 1 plus insurance, and it's payable yearly, so we'll only pay insurance yearly, insurance premium. Then price tax on this rent is nothing but 50,000 into 1 plus inflation in one inflation rate to the power this into 1 plus tax rate minus this. So this will give the tax amount, which will, this is the tax collected, this is the tax paid, and then cash flows, and then the NPV. So first, cash flows is nothing but outgo with all the rent, security, insurance, price, and so on. Price is an assumption currently. Okay. Price is an assumption. Tax on repayment. A rent, capital gains tax is 15% of the total value of this. Then cash flow and NPV. So NPV is done by sum of all the cash flows into 1 plus I, which is IRR is 12%. To the power time by 12, and for IRR, NPV should be 0. So we'll go to what if analysis, goal C, and set this value to 0, and changing cell should be price. So my price is of 2 crore 74 lakhs. Okay, 2 crore 74 lakhs. It's sold, bought the property is 1.5 CR, sold it at 2 crore 74 lakhs. No. Or 2.74 CR. Then part 2 also says the same thing. So here, part 2, in part 2, we have to calculate the accumulated profit of the investments. We just added a column balance at the start of the month and balance at the end of the month. So the start of the month, only security deposit is there. And the end of the month, we have a value of, so basically security deposit will accumulate with this I-12 by 12 plus all the rent and all payments which are received in each year. And then this value has been calculated. So balance at the end of the month is 2477880. Okay, so this is the accumulated profit at the end, 2477880 with all the cash flows and so on. That is 2,47,000 is the profit. Then we have the next value is said that tenant is willing to pay 65,000 instead of 50,000. So from 65, again, this becomes 22% and this is 15%. Tenant pays the value. Now tenant is ready to pay 65,000 and so now they've asked what will be the price. So how the answer change. So again, what if analysis goal seek to value 0 and changing cell would be my this value. So the difference in price between this 257 minus the value over there in question 1 part 274. So price reduces by around 17 lakh rupees. Okay, 17 lakh 38,000 and so. Then assuming that overall inflation experience by Wayne Enterprises is 80%, 80% of the inflation it experiences on its insurance premium. Calculate the real yield by the company through the deal in part 1. So real yield formula is basically nothing but inflation minus, so I is 12% minus the overall inflation 80% of 8% divided by 1 plus 6.4%. This is the real yield. This is the real yield on the company. Then we have question 2. A life insurance company issued a 20-year with profit endowment assurance policy with a basic sum assured of rupees 100,000 to a life aged 30 years on exact on 1st June 2002. Bonus is payable maturity in the form of terminal bonus only, though bonus is payable in the event of death during the term of the policy. Premium of rupees 3,000 is payable annually throughout. Company determines gross premium prospective reserve and policy value is said to be 95%. All of the data has been provided. We have to calculate a. So these are the data provided to us, basically actual mortality, investment returns, expenses, and we need to calculate the reserves. Very easy. So time 1 to 20, year 2002 to 21, age has been given, basic sum assured is given, mortality can be taken out directly from the table. From reserve at starting is 0, premium is 3,000 each year, initial expenses has been given, renewal expense has been given. Investment return can be calculated from the investment index, which is year 2 by year 1 minus 1. Premium minus renewal minus index can be just calculated with the sum of reserve plus premium plus initial expenses plus renewal, because all these are in negative already, into 1 plus into 1 plus the investment return. Death claim is nothing but sum assured into the mortality probability. Total end reserve is nothing but this minus claim amount, and closing reserve is this value divided by PX. Okay, and your next year reserve value, opening reserve value is this closing reserve value and drag down. So we have a value of 112527.45. Policy value has been said 95% of this reserve value. So we calculate this. So sum assured is 100,000. The difference between the two is 6,901. The terminal bonus as a percentage of basic sum assured is 6.901% only. Then we have been said in the third part, the company is a past actor paying terminal bonus at 15% of more of basic sum assured and intends to maintain policyholders' reasonable expectations using actual experience to determine the premium that was charged. So now in part 3, you can just directly copy the table, change your terminal bonus to 15% and using goal-seek change the premium. That will come to 3 to 1.5.483. Part 4 says list any 3 items which create RP. So past practices of terminal bonus, current practice of insurance, advertisements, policy wordings, and so on. The company in its marketing material promised to its policyholder that there will be non-negative investment returns each year for the determination of policy value. Quantify the impact of this guarantee. So whatever investment returns were negative, we zeroize those investment returns and then we calculate the reserves and calculate the policy value, and the terminal bonus now it becomes 29.96%. It increases by 23% and there's no loss to the company. At the time of pricing this product, company had considered a performing in a stochastic analysis. So stochastic analysis, real-time inflation rates could be used. Bonus would be changing every year. Premium could also be modeled using stochastic rates. And one key feature which is more very stochastic in nature is mortality probability. Next, question 3. ABC Insurance Company intends to launch a unit-linked life insurance product. Features of product are enumerated below. Policy term of 10 years, death benefit maximum of 10 times of annual premium and unit fund value, maturity benefit, unit fund value at maturity, premium term of 5 years. This table summarizes the premium allocation charges and commissions. These are incurred along with the premium payment. Then we have, so these are there, are the charges applicable. Then we have policy administration 0.5% deducted every year, mortality charge, fund management, all charges have 18% GST, unit fund growth rate, non-unit fund growth rate, and this has been said that policyholders loyalty addition is only 60 months, average of 0.5% of 60 months end fund value. Initial expected recurring and so on, and revision given to do monthly and non-monthly unit cash flows. So here we have written all the assumptions. We have calculated the monthly rates for each of the charges because we have been told to do a monthly projection, so we need monthly rate. Then we have done unit fund is month premium is payable for term of 5 years only, but unit fund will be kept since the policy term is of 10 years. Premium is nothing but value divided by 12 only for the first 5 years. Cost of allocation is the value of cost 5%. 95% of this 8333 will come over here. Then we have unit fund at the start of the month, which is nothing but this value. Then unit fund at the end of this fund is this value into 1 plus the unit growth rate. Fund management charges is again monthly fund management charge, which will unit fund into the fund management value into 1 plus GST because each of these attract GST. Unit fund at the end will be nothing but unit fund minus the fund management charge. Next unit fund at the start will be the previous unit fund value plus the new premium which have been there, and the formulas need to be dragged down. So these are the unit funds value until the end, that is 769,852.2. And we have been told a loyalty addition. So loyalty addition is of 0.5% into the average of the last 60 months. So last 60 months go from 61 to 120. So these are the average of the last 60 months fund value. So total unit fund at the last will be 773177.4. Then we have been given non-unit fund. Again, the same table, month, age. Age will be for the first year, it will be 40. For next year, it is 41. Goes up to 49. Premium minus cost of allocation is basically whatever the premium was there minus the cost of allocation. Expenses we have been given already that for the first initial expenses is nothing but it has been told that initial expenses are 20 paise per 1,000 of the death benefit as at the start of the policy, and acquisition is 3% of annual premium not exceeding. So 20 paise per 1,000 for death benefit we have calculated 20 paise we've written over there divided by 1,000 for, and plus the minimum of 3% of annual premium or 3,500, whatever not exceeding 3,500. So these are the renewal ones. These are the initial one. Renewal is maintenance is 350 per annum per policy spread equally over full year inflating at 6%. So we have done is 350 divided by 12 into 1 plus whatever inflation rate is to the power whatever time it will inflate. It will only inflate for each of the years. Baki when the same years it will remain same. So if you can see for the 12 months till time 12 it remaining same, then 13 onwards it is changing and so on. You can see I've used integer and mod function, which is basically dividing and getting the quotient plus. And if the remainder is 0, it should do a -1 to whatever value is coming, because in the first year it will not increase. It will increase from second year onwards and plus, comma 0. Commissions is basically again percentage was given to us of commissions. So you just take a commission, the percentage of the annual premium. Okay. Again, monthly rates we had calculated. Interest is nothing but premium minus expenses minus commission into the data tab, which into the non-unit growth interest rate. Mortality is the mortality for this. This is the mortality which will be used for calculations of the profit vector. And these are the mortality used for calculations of death cost. Okay. So profit vector, this is 80% of the standard mortality table given to us, and whereas this is 125% of the standard mortality table given to us. Non-linked death benefit is nothing but maximum of unit fund, comma, fund value, maximum of basically sum assured, comma, fund value, which is 10 times the annual premium, comma, fund value. So now annual premium, we are doing monthly calculations, so divided the annual 10 times into the premium divided by 12, comma, the fund value minus the fund value. So these are the values we are remaining with. Expected death cost is nothing but these values into the probability, 125% of the standard mortality table. Policy administration charges of 0.5% has been charged per annum. So again, converting into monthly rates, we got this value. So we have been told it should not exceed 6,000 rupees. Fund management charges will get added over here, whatever we had deducted over there. And cash flow is nothing but premium minus expenses minus commissions plus interest minus death cost minus expected death cost plus policy administration cost plus fund management charges. Okay, so this is my cash flow. Next, I have been told to do calculate the expected profit that would emerge in each policy month, given that insurer holds unit reserves and no non-unit reserves. So unit reserves means it only holds unit funds. Okay. So from unit funds, we get this value. Basically, that unit fund, non-unit fund remains same. No reserves have been maintained. So we can just directly do a profit probability of staying in force, which is 1 for the first policy year, then 1 into the 1 minus mortality rates. This mortality rates, which is 80%. Into this, for each of the year, the mortality remains the same. Profit signature is nothing but cash flow into probability. Discounting factor is nothing but 1 plus unit growth fund rate to the power minus of time divided by 12 and EPV of profit. So this is the what my profit is coming to 4664, 6.78. Then we have next part. They say if the reserves are maintained using zeroizing. So I did zeroize the reserves. Basically, cash flow is there. We calculate reserve at year end is nothing but first year it will be 0. From second year onwards, it will be maximum of one W124, which is this value into the survival probability minus the cash flow value divided by the unit 1 plus interest rate, comma 0, and drag this formula above to get all the answers. Once you drag this formula above, profit at the year end will be V5, which is cash flow minus W5 into 1 minus survival probability, 1 minus mortality probability, and then probability, then staying in force at the start of the year, profit signature, discounting factor, and EPV of profit. Now, EPV of profit is 45087. The profit has reduced from the previous section. So this was basically the paper. It was a bit lengthy paper as you saw, but the paper was interesting and it was not that difficult as well. Thank you.